Robert Kafelo Sestoyo. I'm a member of Parliament on the Chifuma constituency in Mukono district, where you go through as you proceed to Kayunga. I'm also the chairperson of this committee on physical infrastructure. You're most welcome.
I'm George Wilson Nsamba Kumama, Member of Parliament, Bale constituency in Kayunga district, and also the vice chairperson of this committee. You're welcome.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Kamsime Innocent Pentagon. I'm a member of Parliament for Temba constituency in Chankwanzi and a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members. Asaba Paul, Member of Parliament for Chaka North constituency and the committee member.
Thank you, Chair. Morning, everybody. I'm Rose Mutonyi Masava, Member of Parliament for Bobulo County West in Manafa District, and a member of this committee.
Next.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Major Susan Oruni Lakot, representing Uganda People's Defense Forces, a member of this committee.
Yeah, our dear contractor, we also have a technical bench. Let them introduce themselves.
Good morning. I'm Agatha Akankunda. I'm the clerk to the committee.
Good morning. I'm Mataka Janet, the economist of the committee.
Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Mogide. I'm a policy analyst.
That is all from our side. Can you please introduce yourself?
Morning, Chair, and everybody. My name is Shannon Hai. I'm the project manager of the EPC contractor for the Simba Hydropower project. I'm the contractor's representative.
Would you like to pronounce your name again?
Shannon Hai.
Shannon
Hai.
Okay, we shall be calling
Something
you
like
Sha.
that. Something like that. Yeah, you can call me Sha.
Sha, for purposes of this meeting. You're most welcome. You're the project manager. You're most welcome, Mr. Sha. If we were the other side, we would say ni hao. Exactly. Mr. Sha, this committee comprises of 31 members of Parliament and 5 technical people. As they walk in, of course, they will be introducing themselves so that you know who you're talking to all the time. Honorable colleagues and our contractor, this is an investigation into very serious allegations which were mentioned on the floor of Parliament, saying that 24 billion Uganda shilling could have been eaten by some officials from the Ministry of Energy that has been handling this contract. And indeed, the Speaker of Parliament also went ahead to express her dissatisfaction that even after speaking to the head of state, even mentioning the names of the people who could have been part of this, nothing was done. So it is against that background that the House, the August House, directed the Committee on Physical Infrastructure to investigate this matter to put it to a logical conclusion. We have already interfaced with a number of ministries, including the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Works and Transport. Tomorrow we are going to interface with the Ministry of Finance. We have also interfaced with a number of agencies, including Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited, Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited. We have also interfaced with UNRA, Uganda National Roads Authority. Yesterday we had people from PPDA, the ones who are supposed to deal with the issues of contracts, and we are still engaging a number of stakeholders, including individuals. Today, we thought it important to give you a chance, whereas the committee visited and you indeed hosted us on site at Isimba last week, we thought we would have an indoor meeting with you without the other entities. You know, the other entities are your bosses. Aha. So you could fear saying a few things, and yet for us, we want all the details, all the relevant information on what could have happened. Even in the House, it was also mentioned that actually the contractor has not been paid to a tune of $35 million. That was the allegation in the House, $35 million. Of course, in your information, it became less. According to the interim payment certificates you told us you issued, it became $28 million, but you're yet to clarify on that. And you may have to tell us why some people talked about 35. You know, at times those figures are not out of the blue. We also need relevant information. Could you have facilitated those who ate the money? Because when we were here yesterday, we realized that there was nobody touching cash, but there's a way money goes to China, it is paid there. Maybe it could have found its way back to Uganda through you. Who knows? All those are things that we need to brainstorm together. Feel free to tell us anything that you would like us to know, so that we can help you, first of all, but also help the nation to achieve this wonderful project. Government is investing a lot of money, taxpayers' money. We are here to protect the taxpayers. Unless there's any matter arising from my communication, I'm going to go straight to the contractor so that we hear from him. Any matter, Honorable Mutonyi?
Thank you, Chair. I think one of the allegations was that there was no bridge.
Correct.
So maybe you'll tell us something about where is the bridge? Is the bridge there?
Yes, that was another one. The House was meant to understand that there is no bridge at all. All that money was eaten. So thank you so much, Honorable, for highlighting that. Is that all from this side? Okay. Now, this is your time, Mr. Shah, to say something to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. I'm very honored and pleased to be invited to attend this meeting. And also, I'm very glad the committee delegation has visited the site last week, because before we have some meeting in the rooms, it's better to hear, to look by your own eyes on site what is happening and what has been completed and what is going on site, to generally have a picture of the project. There may be somebody outside talking about the bridge was not there, the money was eaten. Okay, but I cannot comment on that because I'm
just a moment.
Yes.
Honorable members, the contractor, I'm being advised by the clerk that he sent some documents. I hope you have a copy of a document from China International Water and
yes.
Electric Corporation in your files. you look for a document dated the 8th February 2020. You have it. Please proceed. But
Okay.
you may have to repeat the other statement I interrupted.
Okay. For some issues, the chair has told me to clarify. I swear that what I say here is truth, and I don't have any fear to any stakeholder because we are international contractor. We procure, we proceed this contract according to the papers, the signed agreement. We have obligations and we have responsibility, which has been specified in the contract. So we have no fear because it's very clear. Everything has been clearly stated in the contract. So issue number one, for the 24 billion, for my knowledge and my information, what I have now, up to date, I have no idea about this 24 billion. And according to my understanding of the procedure of the payment for this project, also has been mentioned by chair. Normally, we submit. Okay, let's do like this. We proceed the work according to the contract, and we are going to submit interim payment certificate for each period of times for the works we have completed. We submit this payment application to the owner's engineer, who is a representative of the employer, and they are going to review, approve, and certify certain amount of the money for the work has been completed. And this review and approve will go to UEGCL, the implementing agency. And after that, we'll go to Ministry of Energy, and further go to Ministry of Finance, and the Finance will issue this certificate to Exim Bank in China. Upon receipt of this certificate, Exim Bank will release certain money according to the certificate to our bank account in China. So
Exim releases to your bank account
In
as the
China.
contractor
in China.
in China. Proceed.
So it seems it's a one-way road, because you will not ever never see any cash, any transit here in Uganda. So everything for the certifying of the work is on paper. It's paperwork. So this is what we have been done since 2014 up to now. We have 19 numbers of certificate. This has been implemented in the same way. So for the 24 billion thing, I'm sure and I ensure that I have no idea about that. And this is my statement on this issue. Number two, for the $35 million, this money, this amount, I think somebody has misunderstood this, the meaning of this figure. According to the addendum number 4, which has been signed in 2018 between employer and the contractor, we have committed to construct this alternative public bridge and access road with no additional cost to the employer. And we are required to submit estimated cost for this public bridge and access road. That means we are going to estimate the cost of this work and to give information to the employer to have an idea how much it's worth. But this does not make any payment back to this work, just the estimation, because if I do this bridge, the employer would like to know how much it's worth. Only for this. So this $25 million is the estimated cost by the contractor.
Did you say 25 or 30?
Sorry, 35. Sorry, $35 million is the amount which the contractor has estimated to be the cost of the component, the public bridge, which has been already submitted to the employer. It's just the purpose of information. for information, because there's no payment schedule for the bridge, just for information. So I think maybe someone has misused this figure. It's not some withheld money of 35 million. At least the number is not correct. Yeah.
Order, honorable members. Can we listen to the contractor? Please proceed.
Yeah.
Yes. Please take note of your concerns. We shall engage him after. Please proceed.
Yeah. The third one is for, I think it's the same with 24 billion. I have no information of whether there's any officials from government or anybody within this project have eaten any money, because up to now I have no information about that, because our work is on only the construction and submit payment certificate application and to be paid. Just so I have no idea about this money eaten thing. This is what I can say. Number 4 about the bridge. I'm very happy that Mr. Edward from Ministry of Energy, he has given a very comprehensive presentation during your visit in Isimba last week. He has given the full history of why this bridge has been changed from the top of dam to the downstream of the project. And because the change is due to some, mainly is for security reason, because you have visited the top of the site, there are some maintaining concrete covers, there are some gantry cranes, because during the maintenance, the road has to be, cut, stopped. That's why, in that case, the public cannot use that road within certain period of time. So this also there is a concern of safety, security, because maybe any terrorism carrying bomb to reach the top of dam can damage the power plant easily. So for this, mainly for this security concerns, the employer require us to submit proposal, which is a little bit far from the power plant. We have submitted 2 proposals previously, but has been refused because for this issue has not been fully mitigated. That's why our initial 1 and 2 proposal has been refused. So finally, we have submitted the final proposal, which is further approved by the employer and also the owner, which is about 500 meters downstream to the powerhouse. And this is what you have seen last week on site. So I think because it's totally has been insulated from the power plant and for the purpose of public use, so this have no more technical and safety concerns. And we already agreed to construct a bridge as per the approval of the employer and with no additional cost. That means this will not let Uganda government to pay additional payment, no matter how much it's worth. So, because for technical reason, when about this negotiation for the proposal for the bridge, and we submit the final design, UNOR was invited to jump in to give a review, technical review, approval for the drawings. Upon the final approval of the drawings, we can start the physical work. Because all this, the delay of the bridge is fully due to the technical reason, security reason. And it's for the sake of Ugandan people, it's a good one. It's a good thing. Yes, you have lost some times, but you have got a brand new bridge downstream of the power plant can be fully utilized by the people from Kamuli and Kayunga, even the whole nation. Because as somebody have told me, if the bridge has been completed, people can use this bridge to pass the River Nile, and even go to Mbali, which is much faster than now from Jinja Road, because Jinja Road that is a little too much jam. So actually, from my understanding, Uganda government or Uganda nation get this bridge is a good thing, because you get a very good bridge, separated, insulated, has been, I think up to now, maybe the third biggest big bridge in the nation, and which does not cost you any money, any more additional money. And the contractor is already working on that up to now. The physical progress has reached no less than 35%. 35% physical progress. But according to our estimation, the EPC progress, EPC means plus engineering, engineering means design, and P means procurement. Procurement means it procure the materials, equipment, everything, and the C means construction. If you think about EPC, because engineering means design, design has been 100% approved. That means we have already completed the engineering section. For procurement, you have seen on site all the equipment, materials, the steel bars, cement, aggregate, sand, material, everything is already been mobilized on site, and our workers, engineers, is working day and night. That means procurement, at least 90% has been completed. 90% for procurement, 100% for design. For the physical construction, you can see on the right bank, on the Kamuli side, the bridge for Kamuli side. Up to now, I think there's only 2 or 3 pile work foundation. It's outstanding. 33 has been completed. That means 90% of the piling foundation work has been done for the Kamuli side bridge. And on the Kayunga side, you have seen the jetty, the steel bridge, which is temporarily used for the platform for the construction of the left side, already been completed. We have already commenced the piling work on the water. So physical work is 35%, designing work 100%, procurement 90%. So overall progress, we estimated is more than 53%. I think this figure is in January, but now it's already February, it should be more. So according to our progress estimation, the progress is going on well. It's going well. As very hopefully that the project could be delivered by the end of this year. Yeah.
End of this year.
End of this year. Very hopefully. So this is why, and I think we have the same understanding with the ministry, with the UEGCL, with the OE, that this is why the bridge is not yet being delivered, but only due to technical and safety, security concerns. And it will be delivered by the end of this year if all the stakeholders, all the parties work closely and working together well. And this work will be achieved. It's not a very difficult work. Not very difficult. We have done it very many times in other countries. The bridge is only 800 meters, not very long, not very high. So it's no problem. So this is my statement for the bridge. So the last one, even Mr. Chair has mentioned about payment. For the payment, as an international contractor, we are very clear, and we want to proceed this issue very simple, because we have signed a contract with the government of Uganda, and all the work which required us to do, and all the payment which required the employer to pay, and the procedures, the amount, everything very detailed has been agreed and specified in the contract document. This is why we no need to waste our time to talk. How much you should give me, how much work I have done. No, everything has been written in the paper. So after you agree and sign the contract, you just follow up. When you finish what you have written in the contract, the employer pay me what he have agreed in the contract. This is the deal, very simple deal. There's no need to argue, to talk. Yeah, but unfortunately, we have an argument with the OE. We have a different understanding on how to release the payment, which is still outstanding. the total outstanding payment up to now is around $42 million. No, I cannot remember exactly the figure, but around $42 million. Out of this 42, there are around 14 million US dollar, which is supposed to be released upon submission of a retention money guarantee by us. This has been specified and agreed in the addendum number 4. That's me, but we are proceeding this guarantee with the Exim Bank in China. But you know now China has a coronavirus issue, and the bank retention money guarantee. That means because after certifying the work, yeah, you understand. So because we want to, in addendum number 4, we have agreed to construct the bridge with no additional cost. That means there will be very big financial pressure on the contractor, since the employer is not going to pay you additional money. You have to source this finance by yourself. That's why this money is not small money. It's not 1 million, half million. It's $30-some million. So in addendum number 4, we have agreed that the first half of the retention money will be released upon taking over certificate of the power station, and the second half of the retention money, which worth around 14 million, shall be released upon contractor's submission of a retention money guarantee. That means retention money guarantee is like a payment guarantee, have the same function of the cash. Once you submit the guarantee, that is unconditionally on-demand guarantee. That means once the employer, the government, holding this guarantee, any issue raised up from the contractor, if the contractor failed to complete the work, have a lot of defects and failed the bridge, or has run away, the government of Uganda can cash the guarantee immediately with no condition. That means this guarantee is the same as the cash. But to submit the guarantee, we'll release the money to the contractor, which will help to assist the contractor to procure the material for the bridge, to pay the salary for the labor, for everything, to buy the equipment, buy the rebar, buy the cement, which costs a lot of money. But we haven't asked the government of Uganda to pay for this additional big work. So this is what we have agreed in the addendum 4. So out of this 42 million, 14 million will be released upon the guarantee. The outstanding is around 28, yes. So this 28 has been clearly stated in the payment schedule, which is appendix number 10 of the contract. All the previously payment certificate has been approved according to that schedule, because that schedule have a breakdown of a lot of hundreds of items. When you finish the turbo generation installation, you get such money to be paid. When you finish the dam feeding work, when you finish the powerhouse concrete work, blah, 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 like something like this. And this 28 million, most of it has been already clearly certified in the payment schedule in the contract. And it is supposed to be paid, released by the OE once we finish the work and we submit the supporting document, which means the OE has signed that this work has certified this work has been finished on site. You know, it's like an OK card. When you finish, I submit the form. You check, you inspect, you agree, you sign. And we'll make a copy of that together with our payment application. You verify, you review. If you agree, you approve. This has been very normally and follow up between before IPC 18, because from IPC number 1 to IPC number 17, this has been implemented with no doubt. Everybody is working on or doing the same thing. But since IPC 18, which we submit in August last year. The OE has refused to certify any money, even we have completed according to the contract payment schedule. Their statement is, we haven't finished the snacks. We have some so-called critical snacks and some outstanding work, which has been communicated. There's a letter after TOC 1. The employer has issued a list of snacks and to be complete. Snacks means some minor defects or some outstanding minor works. Some landscaping, painting, concrete repairing, which does not critically affect the functioning of the project, because since the commissioning of Isimba up to now, this power plant has been operated normally and has generated a lot of much power, and the government of Uganda have gathered a lot of revenue from it. There's no critical accident, incident, or there's a shutdown of the power plant due to some functional fault. I haven't been reported due to the snacks. All the snacks are small things, civil, mechanical repair, painting, something, and we have committed to finish that. And we already completed more than 95% of the snacks. And the outstanding, a small number of outstanding are some paperwork, some visitor center. Visitor center is small rooms which will accommodate some new future visitors. And there's a floating boom. Floating boom is already in procurement in China because now the virus, so the shipping will be a little bit delayed. But the floating boom is a device that in front of the intake, which will protect the intake from the hyacinths floating on the water. Yeah, but the water level is not changed with or without. It just to help the people of the operator to clean the hyacinths more easily. Yeah. So up to now, even when you visit the site, yeah, the floating boom is not yet been installed. Hyacinths are floating on the river, but generation is normal. Generation is not affected. So the opinion from the owners and engineers is different from us. And we have been struggling, we have been communicate with them. We have a number of meetings talking about the payment issue. And up to now, there's not too much progress. So my request is, since we have signed a contract, the spirit of respect of the contract is that once you sign it, no matter the money is more or less, you have commit to do it. So this is the spirit of international contract. If the signed paper has been ignored and people just have some fears or have concerns and they ignore the term of contract and they don't follow up, this will make things worse. Because we think the payment is entitlement to the contractor, which is to facilitate the progress of bridge. But up to now, unfortunately, it has been not resolved. And we have been facing a very critical financial restraint. And we haven't have enough money to pay the suppliers, the laborers, the engineers.
Can we have one meeting, honorable members?
Yes?
Proceed.
Yes. Huh?
You proceed.
Yeah. Okay, so we have borrowed a loan from a commercial bank to release $15 million as a loan to help our financial crisis. We borrowed our own
From a bank in China or here?
Bank. We have evidence. Even I have presented to the people. This is a letter of release a loan. It's a Spanish bank, but its branch is in China, and you have a contact, and you can verify and contact the bank whether this is true or not, and whether it's for ISIMBA of CW or not, because we haven't been paid since last March, almost 1 year. We haven't received any payment for complete work, and we have already make the bridge half done.
Let the records capture evidence for borrowing from Monte del Pachi del Cien.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means we have sourced the finance ourselves. We pay the interest from the bank for the loans to support the work of the bridge. But we haven't asked the government to pay me for this. If we get the payment according to the contract, we know I have no need to apply a loan from a commercial bank, and we pay more than $40,000 for the interest. Well, why? Because we are a state-owned company of Chinese government. We have our faith. We have our belief. We don't want to go away, even if now we have a small dispute. We have to concentrate on the bridge. We know this bridge is linked, the hope of the people of the two districts, have a lot of impact politically and in the local community. I don't want to stop the work due to the contractual dispute. This is what we have done. So this is my request. We have sacrificed a lot. Now in China, we have a coronavirus. We have 28 people. Now it's isolated. I mean, they are not allowed to come back. I mean, this month at least. We have a very serious situation. We have no money. We have less workers, less engineers. Yes, this is not another issue, but the situation is like this. But everybody is focused on the bridge. They want the bridge to finish by the end of this year. How we can do it with no money and with less workers. So this is my request. So my request is very simple. Please go through the contract. If the contract give us the entitlement, please let it be real. If the contract say you can withhold the money because of the bridge or something like that, you can withhold. It's no problem. We are international contractor. We have signed a contract. That means we have agreed everything specified in there. No matter it's good to me or bad to me. And another concern from other people that mentioned about that, they worry about the contractor may run away in the middle of the construction. I don't think that is going to happen. We have I have three reasons. First one, to avoid this case of running away, lay down the tools, the employer have a performance security which provided by the contractor. Up to now, the valid amount of the performance security is 7% of the contract price. That's around $30-something million. And also, the employer still have 50% of retention money. It's around $14 million. No matter it's money or it's a guarantee, it's the same thing. So $14 million plus 37 or $36 million performance guarantee, which the function of the performance guarantee is to ensure the contractor is going to perform all the obligations under the contract. That means any breach of the contract by the contractor, the employer can easily cash the guarantee from the bank. And the bank will cash the same amount to the contractor. I mean, we will lose that money. 36 million plus 14 million is more than $50 million. I don't think any contractor can bear the cost of guaranteed cashing. So financially, there's no possibility the contract is going to run away before completion of the project. Second, we are not a private company. We are not a small company. We are a state-owned company of Chinese government, which are regulated by the embassy of Chinese government in Uganda here, and also by the central government in China. We have a lot of restrictions. We have very strict regulations. We have a legal responsibility to perform the contract. This is a flagship project between Chinese government and Uganda government. There's no possibility that anybody can run away. They will be put in the jail if they do so. Yeah, definitely. They'll be put in jail. Yeah. And no problem. I agree. You shot me 10 times, no problem. But I will not do so, so I don't fear. The third one, we are a contractor. We have shown you that we have borrowed a loan from commercial bank to support the project. Even if during the time we haven't been paid according to contract. That's why. We have the faith, we have the responsibility. We have the brand, we have our company brand, CWE. It's worth something. It means that once you face something, you not just lay down your tools, you not just run away. You have your faith, you have a responsibility.
Mr. Chair, you are now repeating what you've already said.
Yeah.
Does that indicate that you have said it all?
Yes.
Okay. Honorable members, Mr. Chair is the project manager of China International Water and Electric Corporation and is here for and on behalf of that company. Is the project manager. And as I did mention earlier on, Mr. Chair,
yes,
that as committee members walk in, I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves so that you know who you're talking to. So my honorable colleagues who were delayed, please mention your name for Mr. Chair to know who you are so that we can now engage him on the things that he has just mentioned.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Amos Rugorovi, the Member of Parliament where the project is, the area MP for that area.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and honorable members. My name is James Baba. I'm Member of Parliament for Koboko County. For the record, I also, long time ago, as a diplomat, worked in China. And I must give tribute to the Chinese for having transformed their country in less than 40 years to a world-class economy.
I hope that is part of introduction.
Yes, that's part of introduction. I think it is important because of my history, because of what I know about that country. And I want to pay tribute for their commitment to come and assist Uganda, even if we're borrowing that money. But the sacrifices they are making, the work they are doing, I am really, I want to express appreciation to Mr. Shah, to your government.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable.
To your government and to the people of China. Thank you for all the support.
Next, brief introduction, members.
Mirembe Lydia, woman in Butambala district, and I sit on this committee.
The ambassador, I thought he was going to tell us that he learned some things which he has brought to us here. It looks like he didn't learn anything to help the Uganda when he was there. Only appreciating. I wish he would transfer that technology learned from China but that apart, my name is Okupa Elijah. Okupa Elijah, member of this committee. I can only say I'm also a direct beneficiary because when it's done, I cross it to Kamuli to Kasilo. So we
He's
pray
declaring
that.
his interest now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Hajat Watunga Rehema, Member of Parliament representing the people of Kamuli Municipality, whereby I'm the main beneficiary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Abraham James Byandala, member of this committee, MFP katika North Ruiru District.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I am Francis Mwijuche, Member of Parliament of Ruiru County, member of this committee.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think that is all for now. Mr. Shah, Honorable Members, you have heard from Mr. Shah. His company is already borrowing money to work on our bridge. There's a claim here that probably money could have been eaten. Could that be the reason why now Shah is borrowing? Because the money that was meant to do the work was eaten. So let's brainstorm here now. Yes, Honorable.
Don't say that. No, I think that record is wrong.
I'm just wondering.
Chair, me reading from the chair.
Yes.
I think is the chairman's comment is not that Shah ate the money, but those who are supposed to pay would have possibly be the ones who ate the money. That's why they're not paying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm
No
opening the
problem.
discussion
I
at
see
that
it's all over.
angle, so that now we brainstorm. Honorable.
Thank
Diana.
you. Mr. Chairman, I did not catch him well. Did you say 42 million US dollars is the outstanding balance on the whole project?
Yes, you are right.
And you want to be paid 14 million?
Let me explain.
Because
$42 million is the total outstanding
yes,
payment
out
for
of
the whole
500,
overall, of the
500
567.
something.
Yeah. This 42 have two portions. First one is about 14 million, which is supposed to be paid once we submit the retention money
Yes,
guarantee.
I understood it.
We are proceeding this money guarantee in Exim Bank in China now, and it's very hopefully maybe next month we can get a guarantee. We'll submit to the government. The government will release the money, about 14 million. So after that 14 million, the outstanding is around 28. This 28 is a major disputed amount of whether it should be released or not.
Yes, I can now see the problem, because if they release the 14, I'm just speculating that if they release the 14 and they are left with only 28 million, and yet you gave a budget proposal of the bridge at 35 million. Now, I think that is where government is reluctant. Because if the bridge is going to cost, as you estimated yourselves, 35 million US dollars, and you want 14 million off, and then you'll be left, government will be, the outstanding will be only 28, and yet your estimate for the bridge is 35. Yet the bridge is not, it's just 35% done. I feel government might be justified. If they release that money, there will be very little money left for the completion of the bridge. That's what I thought.
Honorable member, there is a performance guarantee that caters
Can-
for that in case of.
Can the member
Yeah, I
submit?
thought that is part of that.
Can I answer?
It's a
That
different
is our
one.
opinion.
Oh, that's my opinion.
We shall get
And
responses.
I had another something not quite about the money of the bridge, but I wonder whether you're also going to construct some few kilometers of the access road, because there doesn't seem to be any road there. The road is, I think, is down at the ferry landing site, but there is no sign of a bridge. Of a road. Is there a possibility or is it part of the contract that you provide an access road? Thank you.
information?
On top of that, before Honorable Biandala comes in.
Mr. Chairman, the issue of access roads or exit roads is an issue of major concern. On the Kayunga side, the issue of the access road is being addressed. They have made a provision to construct a road from Wampologoma, that turning point, up to the bridge. They have made a provision. However, about 2 or 3 months ago, they had started opening the road, doing bush clearing when the issue of claims came in for the project affected persons. And that's now the business of the ministry to sort out, not the contractor. However, the contractor had been allowed to proceed before the necessary compensation has been made. And because we had a meeting on the site with them and with the minister, Honorable Bijang. Unfortunately, when we went away, at that particular time, the contractor was clearing the road. Unfortunately, he stopped. You know, when the residents had agreed, had allowed him to proceed pending payment in future. Now, these people can change their mind very easily, as you know. I don't know why the contractor stopped and the road is in such a terrible condition because he moved his equipment there and the road, you know, became bad. It's almost impassable. So bad. So I thought that the contractor could take this as a matter of priority, improve the condition of the road, open the entire track as required for the road. But the other concern is on the Kamuli side. The Kamuli side has been so bad, and it looks like the government does not seem to have any plans for constructing an exit road up to Kamuli municipality. I thought that the government would seriously consider constructing a major national road from that exit point up to I don't know where, but at least going outwards into Mbale, that eastern region. I think UNRA should be compelled to design a road at the same status with the road coming from Mukono, you know, so that we would have a good alternative road to the one he talked about in Jinja. That road is so important, it is so short for the Kasiro people and all other people going northwards and further eastwards. It will relieve the traffic on Jinja Road. So I think the country badly needs that road, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Are you noting, Mr. Shah? You noting?
Yes.
Okay, Honorable Biandala.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Project Manager, about your payments, I'm getting worried. In most projects, usually, there is a specification that when you receive an interim certificate, you must pay it within such a period. I wonder whether such a clause is within this contract. Secondly, you have been talking about Exim Bank. Does it mean that this project is 100% funded by the Chinese, the money we borrowed from China, or Uganda government was also contributing a certain percentage? And if so, could the contribution by the government be the problem? Because you have only been talking about Exim Bank. How is the performance of the government of Uganda if there's a component to be paid by the Uganda government? And lastly, yes, you talked about your having finished the engineering. You gave us a story on procurement and then the construction. But you see, I wish you had given us this one following a work plan. This is when we could really internalize and know how the things are moving, because you can purchase things and if they're not put on the ground, they're as good as nothing. I wish you could tell us how are you performing as per the work plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Let me begin with Mujuche. I'm trying to facilitate these people with the camera so that they don't move.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have noted what the contractor said. And right away from, he says there was a technical and security, because of technical and security reasons, there was a delay. However, he admits this is going to be the third biggest bridge in the country. It is very important. He talks about the connections, and he says physical address is at 35. Now that all equipment and materials are there, 90%. Everything is, according to him, is on plan. And he also promises to deliver the road by end of the year if we go by his proposals. However, there seems to be a misunderstanding between the contractor and the owner's engineer in respect to payment. Now, what do Ugandans want? The people around the area, and of course us, the indirect beneficiaries, all we need is a road, all we need is a bridge. Even before we think of the social responsibilities of the road that is supposed to be constructed in Kamuri and in Kayunga, we are looking at the bridge. If the contractor does not get money to complete the bridge, these other roads you're talking about, whether they are shaped or not shaped, they will be useless. My honest view is that I needed to get, I needed to be told by the engineer that if they got the money he's talking about, the road will be done by end of the year. If I got that commitment, I would then have no reservations in supporting his proposal and plan. Because, like I said, all we need is the road, and he's saying clearly, I mean the bridge, he's saying clearly that they cannot proceed. We don't have money to pay workers to proceed. So, well, the money is finished according to him. He has just said, maybe before you came, that they don't have money now to pay workers to proceed. In short, he's saying we are stuck, we can't proceed.
I heard it. I also heard it.
So, I need to get a commitment from him that if you got that payment, we'll have that bridge done by end of the year. Since you also said that the performance guarantee security money you have is about $51 million. So since you still have, I just need that commitment that that road will be handed over by end of the year if you get the money.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Baba. Was information? Okay, Honorable Baba.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I only have one question. While appreciating the commitment to complete the bridge by the end of the year, despite the challenges, my question is, why did China International Water go to borrow from a Spanish bank at a very high interest rate, yet this company is government-owned, and they could have even borrowed internally from Chinese banks? Why did you have to go to a
Order,
Chinese
honorable
bank?
members.
Yeah, that's my only question. At a very high cost in terms of interest rates, when they could have gone to the same Exim Bank and so forth. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Gorobi, then Honorable Pentagon, then we come this side so that these people move at once.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I want to go on record that this project, the Isimba project, has had a very positive impact on the local economy of Kayunga district. I don't know about Kamuri, but our transformation in the district has been largely as a result of this project. So I want to join my colleague, Ambassador Baba, to appreciate the Chinese government and the contractor for the job well done, and the results coming from the outcomes emanating from this project. So thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, there is an issue the locals, however, raised, besides the compensation that have been made for land acquisition and so on, that alongside that river, we had a lot of sand, river sand. And this river sand was being mined by the locals to make money. However, this project, the coming in of this project has meant that the locals could not access that sand. And the contractor used this sand to construct the dam and other facilities. The lower local governments approached the contractor to make good at least a percentage of the material he's using to compensate the lower local government, to construct roads and do other social services. However, the contractor was adamant. I do not know if this committee could help, to instruct the contractor, at least to avail some form of, compensation to the community, not to the individuals, but to the local government, lower local government there, that is Busana, sub-county, to make sure that they use that money to construct. Right now, as we speak, they don't have a home after the creation of a new town council. We could use that money to construct a sub-county offices. I think that's very critical. My other comments, I made them already. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Pentagon, then Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair and members, I was one of the people that went to the site together with the committee. And as my honorable colleagues have spoken, especially the area member of parliament, Honorable Gorobi, I think there is something that is happening that side that maybe the whole of Uganda may not be aware of. And this is, I think, the point why everyone's attention is on that dam and the bridge. I appreciate the fact that there is material on site, there is work going on. But I want to get a few clarification from the representative of the contractor for the benefit of this committee. One, according to your employer, they say that they have paid you about 90% of the total cost. 92% of the total cost of the contract sum. And in your own assessment, you said that this bridge was assessed to cost about $35 million. I thought that out of that 92%, you'd be having money now. How come you are crying that you don't have money, yet you have received quite a big sum? Secondly, it has also been noted that it is actually you delaying from acquiring this retention money should you provide a guarantee. And it has also been noted that you have told us that you're requesting for a guarantee from Exim Bank in China, which we are aware right now is not functioning because of coronavirus. We are aware also that Chinese companies, numerous of them here, secure guarantees from Stanbic Bank. Why did you not look at getting, or why don't you look at getting a guarantee from a nearby bank like Stanbic, other than going to a bank that is not functioning because of coronavirus? And thirdly, Honorable Chair, I'm also aware that this loan is expiring in June this year. And I'm sure since this is a government company and it is an EPC contract, you are well aware as a representative of the contractor. So what is your take on that? What does it mean now that given that the works are expected to be completed by end of this year, 2020, and the contract period, the loan period is expiring actually around mid of this year. What is your take as a state-owned company and also a contractor? And finally, I want to add my voice to one honorable who said, in this whole regard, despite the fact that we've seen you're working on this material on site, where do we pick assurance that once we give you all the money, you'll perform and complete work in the quality and the time that we desire as a people of Uganda? I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Walswaka. Then we'll go this side. Okay, let's move over to Honorable, the main beneficiary of Kamuli.
Thank you so much, Chair. And I want to thank the contractor for his submission. Once again, I wanted to know the name. Sharp. Sharp. Sharp, yeah. So, Honorable Chair and members, we've heard the cries of the contractor, but my first concern is that it's a responsibility of a competent contractor to pay his or her workers. So long as you've entered into an agreement with someone, the issue of payment to the workers is actually relies on the contractor to pay. Whether the other one is not paying you or not, that is also an agreement between you and your workers. So I want to thank you that you are trying to pay, but still pay them, because you know that you had an agreement with government. Secondly, Chair, we want to know, is the ministry the one holding money, or that you've not performed to their expectations? Because the issue of non-payment means that maybe this is something wrong that did not go well according to the agreement. That's why you are not paid up to date. Secondly, on that, as one colleague mentioned, the certificates, because if you are told you are supposed to be paid, have they, as the ministry, approved that certificate that you're supposed to be paid? Because it's a process. After certifying your documents, then you go to payments. Finally, Chair, I've heard from the contractor saying that coronavirus is now in China. Yes, we understand. But these are like 2 weeks back. And this issue has been happening. Is it that we need to take coronavirus as really a major concern that really you cannot access? And there are some issues, Honorable Chair, that are also attached to what I know as a beneficiary, that I want to mention a few, but maybe I need also to have more time with the contractor, if allowed. But there are some, yes? Not private, but of course.
Order, honorable members. Are you done? Is that all?
Because there are some issues that we may bring up here.
It's okay.
But we are looking for 35 million. But there's also an issue of the materials that are used, substandard materials. May I know from the contractor, in your last meeting, how did the ministry react about the payments of that certificate? Someone talked about the work plan. What I want to bring out is that you're saying you are 90-something%, but according to your supervisors, are you at that percentage whereby your boss must get satisfied, then he pays? Because the payment that we are looking for, you're looking for the money to be paid. Government is saying it has not paid. For us, we are saying this 35 million that is hanging somewhere. Is it that that money was given to you privately, or it was eaten, or you didn't? Yeah, that's what I wanted to get from.
Honorable Kasiro.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, to me, I will not dwell so much on other issues except the few I have noted here. Chairperson, the project manager, first of all, I think needs to clarify to me about the issues of the payment. Because you remember when the minister wrote his statement here, he told us in the statement on the first page, A2, that the payment to the contractor is affected directly from China Exim Bank to the contractor's bank account in China. Is this after satisfaction from Uganda or what? Because when he was communicating, he said the government then will pay. But here, the minister was saying it is directly from Exim Bank. That's one. Two, I want the contractor, the project manager, to confirm to us that the access roads will cover 3.5 kilometers, as the minister stated, outside the bridge, and then 1.5 kilometers within the project site. That gives us how many kilometers? 5 kilometers. I want that confirmation from the project manager that that will be done. I'm raising this clarification because I saw with our new bridge in Jinja, if you looked at that bridge and compared with the one in Kikangaboni in Tanzania, which costed less money but a longer distance than ours, it's well done, the access roads. But when you look at ours here, you find that we're cheated. We're cheated. Yeah, and even in terms of the cost, you just Google, you'll get the correct figures. I don't want to get it. You just Google, you'll get it. I'll get back to you if you want the details. Yeah. So you look at it. That's why I'm emphasizing that I want that confirmation from the contractor that the access roads, the 1.5 kilometers within the project site will be covered fully to that kilometers or 5 kilometers to answer your such that Honorable Golobi would say beneficiary side is comfortable with it. Now, what is that the government engineers cannot resolve with the contractor to enable them pay the difference? What is that which cannot be solved? Because I don't think the problem cannot be solved. What is that is stopping them from solving the matter? Yeah. If it's the snacks, why is the contractor not correcting? Why are you not correcting if the issue is of the snacks? Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Yeah. So if it is for the retention money, so why is the contractor, why is the government or the beneficiary not responding? Maybe, Chairperson, we may have to also call the people who are supposed to pay and say, what could it be? If it is the snacks, why are they not resolving it?
The agencies were here, but tomorrow we have finance in this very room.
No, but on the issue of the snacks, I don't think it's finance. I think our own engineer who raised these issues should be able to explain. Yeah. UDCL, they should be able to respond to that.
Mr. Chairman, in the meeting we held at the boardroom of the contractor's office, the owner's engineer said they paid 92%. They have overpaid the contractor.
Even yesterday, they repeated it here.
Even yesterday, they repeated. So there must be a problem somewhere which this committee must look at.
Ambassador, that's why I was asking if you can tell us what is that which cannot be resolved, which they are not telling us. Possibly it goes back to the chairman, what led to this investigation. It could be the reason, the 24 billion the speaker raised. Maybe it could be there on agreeing how to share things. What is that which cannot be resolved? And at the cost now of they are delaying it So their failure to resolve is costing the country, it's also costing the company as they are borrowing from commercial sources. So we need to go into the depth of what is causing this, because that's where the crux of matter is. Because this investigation will not be conclusive if we don't get to the conclusion of what is failing the other team from paying and why they are also not correcting the snags. So where is the problem? If you could tell us about that. So chairperson, for now, I'll stop.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Vice Chair wants to say something. Then I am going to engage you. Vice Chair Yusuf, you talk.
Thank you so much, Chair. I must appreciate on behalf of the team that actually went to Isimba Dam last week, that we had a very interactive moment with these people, the contractor, owners engineer, UNRWA, and others. And so many issues actually were raised. And indeed, the contractor raised his concern. The very one who is in before us today. And that's one reason why we opted that he comes here. And in here, he tries to put his case clear. When we were there, he actually mentioned that he has a crisis, like he has indeed indicated to us here. He has a crisis which actually is facing. And the crisis has actually led him to borrowing money from a commercial bank, a Spanish bank in China, in order to solve a problem. And the ministry, owners engineer, actually stressed that he was not going to release money. He's not going to release money that before the work is completed, because he had been overpaid. His payment stands at 92.5 something percent. So he has less than actually 8% to demand from the owner's engineer. So that thing actually is tormenting the contractor. Contractor is committed to completing the contract before the end of the year. But like I said, he's constrained. Much as he's overpaid by payment certificates, is now indicating that he is constrained to do it, unless again he may go to another loan. And he said 28 million US certificate has been approved. Is that true? $28 million is a certificate that is with the owner's engineer. True?
Has been refused.
Has been refused. He put in the $28 million certificate, which the owner's engineer has refused to certify. And the owner's engineer says he cannot pay him the 28, because that indicates that he's going to pay him almost 100% of the payment, let alone the retention, performance guarantee, but it will indicate that he has paid him 100%, which the owner's engineer is not willing. And yet he, as a contractor, is constrained to proceed. So for him, like he was trying to elaborate here, he's sure that $14 million US, which can only be released on a guarantee, retention guarantee performance, submission, is the money that is yet with the owner's engineer. And also the $36 million can only be released. Of course, it's there because of performance as a performance guarantee. $36 million US as a performance guarantee is there with the owner's engineer. So in total, the government has got 14 million plus 36, which is about 50 something million. So for him, he was saying, because of his constraint, that's what I had here clearly here is, because of his constraint, he wanted that 28 given to him to finalize, let alone these other monies that are yet there. $50 million is still there. But because the 28 can be released, if it can be released, it will enable him complete this dam. And then the other guarantees as they come will be released on the final submission of the dam. I think that's what I heard. I don't know whether I heard it rightly from him. So he may elaborate on this.
Okay, is Chair, but is of Honorable Al-Swaka.
Thank you, Honour Chair and Honour members. Chair, I came in late. I had some party engagements. I mean the NRM party. But Honour Chair, you know, when things happen, when I raised this issue, Honour members, they thought I was a joker. I'd raised it 24 billion, but it has come to our notice in the documentation from the ministry and from the contractor that indeed the money is more than 24, it is $53 million. And I want to thank honourable members of parliament who have come up to see that this money is brought. Because honourable members, some of you who are not here yesterday, when the area member of parliament, Honourable Gorobi, was here yesterday, he said that, in fact, they had told him, you have lost out to the bridge. But thank God, Honourable Gorobi, the people of Uganda and indeed the members of parliament are with you. Now, Honour Chair, I want the contractor to tell us the truth. According to the documentations which the Ministry of Energy brought, they say they have paid you up to 92%, which we have to confirm with the finance. And indeed, the Chair will guide us so that we also confirm with the banks of Exim. You know, someone can show in the paper that they gave you money when the money has not what? Reached. But may we know from the contractor, if it's true you got all this money, why can't you finish the work? Or there are some people, when you get money in the account, they give you and they say, please bring here. Be honest. You should tell the country, you may not mention names, but there is a common name people now usually use honourable members. They call them mafias. If mafias have told you that, give us a kickback of this, tell the country. Before we see, and the members will see how to help you out. Otherwise, for the country, what we need is a bridge. Tell the country whether, whenever you are paid, some mafias could come and you kick back. Period. Honour Chair, to me, indeed, if the money is there, then we need a writing from the bank. I request we have technical people here. Of course, you are politicians, but they are technical in finance. I may not trust so much the technical officers, but like the chair budget, you are technical officers and the honourable members. Some of you know some things of finance. If Bank of Uganda, yeah, you know some things of all things. Yeah, you tell us. Otherwise, I'm suspecting that the ministry will say the money is there, but of course you will not tell them bring. When totally there is nothing, when the accounts have been what? Depleted. You know, they may tell you, the money is there, let the money complete. By the time he completes, they will be organizing maybe a separate loan or something so that they try to quench him. I'm suspicious that maybe money may not be there. Mafias might have used either borrowed that money or passed through the contractor and they remove using the other hand. And we want to know through your Honour Chair, from the contractor. In your letter here, you said there are lots of equipments on site which are worth a lots of what? Of billions. Maybe you know an average estimation, how much in $1 million? And then, Chair,
would also task our government valuer and the Ministry of Works to also value those equipments. Because now, the loser will be the wananchi. Ministry will say, unless the contractor finishes, we can't pay him. The contractor will say, I don't have money. And who loses? Our voters. Hold on, member. I receive information before I conclude.
Can you speak on record?
The contractor chair, that I think this is open because the contractor is saying the certificate was not accepted, was not actually paid. It was not approved. Now, the contractor talked about snacks. The information that I want the contractor also to give is that what agreement did you make with the payment officers? Because you might have a personal agreement, as Honorable is saying, that as we pay this final certificate or the second last, you give us something. That's why maybe these people are not doing it, approving. Yeah, because without this, now they may not pay you. We need to know why haven't they paid.
Please,
Mr. Chairman, I have a contrary view.
Honorable Chair.
Please, kindly.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I'm still on the floor, but I'm getting some information
Let me.
from Honorable Burundo, then Honorable.
Now
Yes,
you are
yes.
becoming the chair.
No,
No, thank you
I'm
very
just
much,
getting
Chair.
information, Honorable Chair.
It's just getting information, Honorable Chair. Thank you very much, Honorable Swaka, for giving way. Honorable Chair, from what I've heard, it appears the contractor might have done substandard work in one way or the other, and the technocrats, on the other hand, might have asked for a kickback, and that's where the problems are coming from. So that is what the information I wanted to give you, Honorable Swaka. The contractor should tell us whether really he did the correct work, quality work, and why they are not paying him. Thank you.
Further information there. Further information.
Further information from Castillo.
Chair, I think one, we should just stop assuming. That's why I say, can they tell us the factual thing? What is this which cannot be solved? Let us just stop assuming. The issue of the snacks. The project manager did specify. They say there's no been interruption. There no what. But the project manager and our engineer should be able to tell us the truth. But Honorable Walsaka addressed the issue that we have to be careful. Tomorrow you may find people are jumping that we need a supplementary loan in order to pay. That's what happened. You remember the Ginger Bridge. You remember the initial cost was 125 million loan, which we passed. The government of Uganda was supposed to do 25 million and JICA 100 million. In the end, in March 2018, they came and asked for additional supplementary loan of $36.7 million. And that shot the cost to $161 million. And that's why globally I was telling you, ours was 525 meters and it costed $161 million. The one of Tanzania was 680 meters and it costed $136 million.
Let it be the last information.
The last information from senior.
The information I want to give Honorable Walsaka members is that at Isimba, the owner's engineer told us that he had paid the equivalent of 92% of the project cost. I think the onus of proving how much was paid should be with the owner's engineer. We should task the owner's engineer to come here item by item, telling us what he paid for. That amounts to 92%. I don't think that we should task the contractor for that. The owner's engineer should be the one to tell us what he has accepted and to be paid for at the equivalent of 92.
Honorable Chair, having received all that information,
as you wind up,
I want to agree with the Honorable Baba and indeed all other colleagues that we should task the owner's engineer to tell us, that's what I wanted yesterday, that they should tell us how far they paid. What I can see here, Honorable Chair, from our budget officer, they were just talking about only the 42 million. You remember, Honour Chair, we agreed yesterday when I requested and the committee agreed with me that these people should bring a chronology of what they paid from A up to Z. And what they have done, including those certificates, what they have done, remember what is here, they are talking about the remaining 42 million. They are not talking about what they paid. Yes, this is from UEDCL. So, Honour Chair,
thank you.
I want to propose that, Honour Chair, we need the contractor to tell us what the estimated cost of equipment he has on site, but also Minister of Works and the Chief Government Valuer should go and value the equipment. Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, the contractor has had, but I also have this to add and ask from the contractor. Mr. Contractor, Mr. Shah, like you mentioned your name. Like you mentioned your name, Mr. Shah, while you were submitting, you talked about Appendix 10. You remember?
Yeah.
Appendix 10 of your agreement. I happen to have a copy of the contents of Appendix 10. And in the proposed progress and the payment milestones of the EPC contract. Yeah? Give him that.
Yeah. I have the appendix.
Yes. My question is, you're complaining that you have not been paid, but all the milestones here stated have dates, due dates. The next due date for about $4.2 million is February 15th. Honorable members, today is 12th February. So the next due date is 15th, and others stretch. There's one for March 31st. That is the payment of second. This was a proposal that was written to you people, because this is in a letter from UEDCL, who has the administrative powers over this project, written to the project manager. And it has those proposals, the due dates. When they wrote to you, did you write back to agree to these proposed dates? Or you said no, or this is what you agreed upon? In the same letter, Mr. Shah.
Maybe also, maybe it's for him is relying on the first one, because when you look at the appendix, they say they restructured, which means there was an original one. So what
that's why I'm saying, did they reply this letter to agree to these dates, so that now we know who has not fulfilled his or her obligation? In the same letter, the people who wrote to you, in one of the paragraphs said, the employer acknowledges the considerable progress on the project. However, recent updates indicate that critical snags still remain outstanding several months after the 30th September 2019 agreed date for achievement of completion of the milestone. They went ahead to say, in this regard, your application for interim payment certificate was rejected due to the critical snags. Mr. Shah, of course, members have been asking, the owner's engineer, Alteria, also wrote to you on 5th of November 2019, indicating all the critical snags. While members were asking, what are the snags? We have the details of the snags here in a document which was addressed to the project manager. So why did you fail to address the snags so that you get your money? What is holding you, Mr. Contractor? Could there be something like my honorable colleagues are imputing? Could there be something down you're still discussing? If you don't bring this, we don't address this. What exactly is holding you? Because according to you, the snags are just minimal.
Minor.
Minor. According to them, they are saying, if you don't, we don't pay. So where is the problem? Why don't you correct the minor snags so that you get the money?
Noted.
On the same note, you did say that the snags are here. You can read through mine. On the same note, you said you're going to redo or to do the separate bridge at your own cost. Does that include payment of the PAPs? Why am I asking this? In your communication, there's this, they're expanding. In your communication, this document you gave us, on page 2,
Yeah.
in the last paragraph, paragraph 6, you indicate that there's a reviewed scope of the additional works. And these ones bring up a significant increase in the approach roads, those access roads, meaning the distances have increased. And this was not included in the original contract, according to you. But you're saying, nevertheless, you have agreed to do it at no extra cost, according to Addendum 4. So does that mean that you're going to take care of the additional PAPs? Because the area member of parliament did mention that there are some people who were affected in the process. So are you going to do that? And lastly, there's this issue of the environmental impact assessment. Were you supposed to do it, or it is the ministry who is supposed to take care of environmental impact assessment, especially of the new side of the bridge, because the original one was on top of the dam. So I members had just small, so that we give the contractor.
Chair, when you read this document that you've just given to us, the restructuring, it was written to the contractor on 23rd January. After, I think, Parliament coming out with a concern that you're going to investigate the matter. I want to first members to note that the company wrote the contractor on 23rd January. The owner, and that is sorry. The owner wrote the contractor on 23rd January. And we want also to hear from the contractor what happened in this meeting, because it was for restructuring. After hearing Parliament going for investigation, what came out of this meeting?
Lastly, Honorable Brundo, then the contractor comes in.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'm among the few members of Parliament who went on site on the fact-finding mission. Now,
there were actually many. The whole
no,
committee
of course, I need to be on record, whether you were 100 or 20,000, but I wanted to inform the chair that I was among the number which went. Yeah. Now, I was alluding to what Honorable Swaka was trying to put across, that he was requesting you that we should bring the owner's engineer to come here and explain to us how much money he has paid to the contractor. Because on that day, fateful day, there were very hot arguments between the contractor, the there were serious arguments between the contractor and then the owner's engineer. While the owner's engineer was saying he has paid more than what the contractor has done, the contractor was alleging that he has been paid less. So I was now begging you, Chair, that day we request the owner's engineer to come here together with the with the contractor, so that we get the arguments critically. We follow paper by paper, and then we shall get where exactly the problem is, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shah. Now is your time to respond to the so many.
Thank you, Honorable Parliament members. I have recorded so far 23rd questions. 23rd questions. Maybe some questions are kind of repeated, but I will answer one by one. First one, Honorable Madam, you mentioned about if you pay me 28 million, but the bridge worth 35 million, how can you be secured, right? First, the 28 million, according to the contract, is the payment should be paid upon the completion of the power plant, not for the bridge. Because in power plant component, we have completed and it has been commissioned. That means 100% work for the power plant has been made. So the payment for the power plant, according to the contract, should be paid. There's no doubt. You can find item by item in the payment schedule of the contract for the component 1 for the power plant that something has been completed, but the money within the 28 now is suspending. Why? Because we don't think it is right. 35 million is the estimated cost. It's just estimated cost. It's not a real payment. It will not encounter the government of Uganda to pay me. No. It's just information of how much it's worth. For example, there's a car, it's worth $20,000, but I give you for free, or I give you for $1. But it doesn't make you to pay me 20,000. Just give you information.
No,
So
Mr. Chairman, before you go on, you said the 28, was it approved or was it not approved?
The 28, we apply, we submit application.
Wait, please.
We submit application, but it's been fully rejected by the owners and engineer.
So if it was rejected, then you must find out why.
Because they said there are snacks. They say, well, okay, I will explain about snacks and payment, the relationship later in the following question. But this is the first question I just explained, okay? The second one, I was asked about the progress of the 3.5 kilometer access road. This 3.5 kilometer access road is within the scope of the contract. It's no doubt.
1.5?
3.5.
What about 1.5?
Wait, the question is following. So this work, the design has been approved. I think everybody remember the last December, November, the rain are too much. The rain are too much. You know, the road construction will be affected very badly if the rain are too much. They cannot. We can only wait until the dry season to concentrate on the work on the access road, because in the dry, every day in that time, every day there's rain. It's mud. There's no way, you know. So that is why the access road progress has been little bit okay. Number 3, I was asked about the financing for the overall project. This project is co-financed by Chinese government and the Uganda government. Chinese government through Exim Bank provide 85% of the contract price, and the government of Uganda provide 15%. This is the structure of the finance. Okay.
But you haven't been talking about Uganda government giving you money.
Excuse me?
You were just telling us about getting money from Exim Bank.
Because
I'm not talking about Uganda government.
Because the first portion which provided by government of Uganda has been already recovered. Because this money has been paid in the very beginning, and the work has been completed in the beginning has already covered this money. So the outstanding is fully for Exim Bank. Number 4, about the work schedule for the bridge. We have already submitted a comprehensive work program for the construction of access bridge. I think last year to the UNOR, because who is the supervisor. We have a timeline which is end by the end of this year. We have submitted, and they have reviewed. Yeah. So this is the question. Answer to the question. Number 5. I was required to give a commitment.
No, wait, you didn't answer my last question.
Yeah.
I asked you, when you put in a certificate, there's usually a period when you should be paid. Is it contained in your contract?
Yes, it is. 56 days.
And after that, what is the penalty?
This is about 3% plus labor rates. Yes, this is financing charge for any delayed payment to the employer. Yeah, if they delay the payment, 3% plus labor rates. Number 5, I was required to give a commitment to complete work once I get the payment of this 28. I have already given 3 reasons: financially, politically, and our reputation. Yeah, this is our commitment. Number 6, why you borrow the money from the Spanish commercial bank? Because I want to keep the work going on, but I haven't been paid. If I really stop the work, it will have a lot of consequence. Not only for Uganda, Governor of Uganda, not only for employer, also for us. We will be struggling in the endless fight, which will affect the benefits of everybody, especially the community.
The question, I think, as I understood it, was why did you borrow from a bank in India and not?
No, in Spain.
No, in China. Sorry.
Okay, I got
I was in India. That is
yeah.
why. Why not Uganda?
No, this is if the company is facing a cash flow issue, they are going to source some loans from a bank who give. Yeah, I said my own business. If some private company give me money, no problem.
That is okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Shah. You
yeah.
can borrow from anywhere.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
Number 7, about the CSR, the corporate social responsibility. Since the commencement of the project up to now, we have contributed a lot of social responsibility to the community, both in Kamuli and Kayunga side. We have constructed 2 primary schools. Renovation work for 2 primary schools in Kamuli, both in Kamuli and Kayunga. We have provided some cement. We have provided some sanitation facilities, condoms, HIV, free medical advice from Chinese medical team. We have provided equipment to to repair the local roads. This is social responsibility we have pursued. And in this year, we have a plan for social responsibility for both Kamuli and Kayunga. But according to the financial restraint, our plan may have to be a little bit delayed. But I'm willing to coordinate with the local community to seek what they need. And if we can provide in our plan, I can put in our social responsibility plan, we can provide finance or the physical materials to help the local community to solve their daily issues. So,
What is your take on the sun?
okay, for the sun, we have actually, unfortunately, for the preparation of the works, we have already procured sufficient sand for the work outstanding. So on site, that means it's no need to procure more. But if in case we have some excess work, we'll coordinate, we'll discuss with your people, we will seek a good rate, and if the quality is as per contract and is acceptable, we have no objection to purchase from local.
I think you did not understand the
Yeah.
question. What I said was that before the beginning of this project,
Yeah.
locals were mining sand in that project
Yes.
area,
Yes.
which you occupied. And you took over all that resource, the sand that was there. Now, the locals have requested you that for all the sand you have used, which we are supposed to buy from somewhere, give them something to construct their buildings, not private, but the public buildings or roads, because really there's value to that, to the sand, attached to that sand, which you acquired free, and it's a lot of it. It's a lot of it. No, it was there. It was a resource. Like you would go to Rweza, where is this? Rwera, and find a lot of sand there. Yeah. So, yes.
Thank you, Honorable Gorobi. The idea you are bringing is very, very good, but I needed some clarification from you. You say where the contractor occupied. Did he compensate the local government before occupying that place or not? Because if indeed he compensated and is one of the project areas which was compensated, why then the community should come when they already compensated? I just need a clarification.
No, for the sand, they were never compensated.
They were compensated for the land.
Yeah, the land.
Okay. Now, Honor Chair.
No, not the sand.
Okay, I think
you know that along the river area, that land does not belong to the locals. But they were mining this sand. Okay. It was a source of livelihood for them.
Okay. Now,
yes,
I think
for the community. And when they came, they found all that sand. Suppose that sand was not there. Were they not going to buy sand for the project?
But Honor Chair, what I would think, contractually, if they give you a site and you have compensated whatever is there, if it is underneath,
they have not compensated for that sand.
Can I submit something?
Yeah, but don't make wrong
Can I
statement.
submit something? Honorable, all of us want our voters to be okay, but contractually, the man, if he compensated,
he never compensated.
Where he put the land was not compensated.
Yeah, it was not.
But you said they compensated for the land.
Honorable members,
I think,
honorable members, the contractor is here
to
honorable
frustrate
members.
this.
Order,
Yeah, why?
order, honorable members, honorable members, order. Order, honorable members. The
But Honor
contractor
Chair,
is here.
when he says we are frustrating,
Yes, we have had.
Honor Chair, I want to be on record. I'm not frustrating anything. And Honorable Golobi, you are aware I come from Butaleja, but because of national interest, I raised this. Otherwise, when you come and say I'm frustrating, it's a very bad word from a senior member like you.
So
Honorable member compensated.
Can you please maintain order?
Please speak through.
Chair,
I request
through
Honorable
the chair.
Golobi, through you, Chair. I request Honorable Golobi, in the good interest of the country, to withdraw that I'm frustrating this, because I personally raised this.
Honorable member.
Chair, I request, in the interest of this committee, Honorable Chair, if it seems good for Honorable Golobi, to withdraw that I'm frustrating.
I think
if it is in the interest of the committee.
I think it was just a wrong choice of words, but Honorable Lugolovi cannot impute bad motives. Honorable members, the contractor has 23 questions to answer. He's just on number 4. And he's the one who has the answer on whether they compensated for the sand or not. Okay, only 2 people, honorable and honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the issue of Honorable Lugolobi, that land belongs to the government. Because he's talking about the bank of the river, the river bank, whereby when the contractor came, he was actually given that assignment, but he was not supposed to pay because this is government. Secondly, these people get construct sand illegally, but just because it is a source of what? Income to them. But it is done illegally. So we cannot put or push the contractor that is supposed to give our voters something, because it's already done and it was done at the beginning that this is land that belongs to
Procedure chair, procedure chair, procedure chair. Procedure, may I propose that, is it procedure right for us to have this discussed in house than for us exchanging on this matter? And then you can be able to find a way forward without.
Now that Honorable Biandal has insisted, let him be the last.
Mr. Chairman, I think we just have to understand that the contractor is given a clear sight by the client. Whether they were compensated or not, he doesn't know. This is the responsibility of the government of Uganda. However, my young brother, Amos, of course, my brother, can go and talk on social, on one-to-one. As he said, they are doing social responsibility. He can do it, but there is no legal way how you can enforce it.
Thank you for the guidance. Yes, Mr. Shah, please proceed.
I think Honorable Parliament member, some gentleman has have the same opinion, because when we given this site area for the construction of works, so within this site territories, we are free to use any resources: sand, water, mud, soil, whatever. If they are available, they are free for us for the construction of the works. If there's any compensation issue, it will be handled by Ministry of Energy. Because we were not aware of anything compensation for how much this worth, sand, rock, or water. No, it's not our issue. But we are willing and we are keeping doing corporate social responsibility. But we shall not link these two issues. They are two different issues. But we are willing to do more social responsibility. In this case, we can let the local community to be benefit. Yeah.
Mr. Shah, you have 8 minutes to answer the remaining
All
questions.
right. Number 8. Why 92% money have been paid? You are still claiming money. This is a most very common question you may ask. Also, somebody has asked the same question. The OE has provided a letter saying calculations 92 money has been paid. Why you are still asking? Yes, the 92% money has been paid according to contract. We have finished more than 92% of works. You have seen the Isimba power plants generating power for 1 year. Only 92%? No, it's much more than that. But there's just their one-side statement. We have already replied their letter. We disagree their 92 or 90% of the evaluation. Because also, it's linked to another question. They say they have overpaid us. Actually, we consider this overpay is a very inappropriate. It's a danger word you used. How can you overpay? You pay according to contract. How can you overpay?
You see,
if you overpay, you are doing something illegal.
You see, Mr. Shah, the perspective of 92% payment, overpayment, comes along from the original scope of the whole project.
Right.
The original design was with a bridge on top. Maybe if you could guide the committee, in your own view, what percentage would it be of that bridge on top, which is not finished now? What percentage of the original work would it be?
Okay.
So that now we know.
For the question of
Yes.
Chair, you have visited site. The bridge, the so-called bridge on top of the dam, it was supposed to be on top of the spillway. You see the big gate which dispatch the water. That is only 50-meter length, right? Only, maybe no more than 100 meters. Most of the top of the dam is just an asphalt road, which has been already constructed. So only for a 50-meter so-called concrete bridge, how much it may worth? Maybe $500,000, maybe more, no more than $1 million, no more than that. But other the highway already being constructed there, but only not used for public. And we are required to use it to construct another alternative public bridge downstream. But on top of them, it's already finished, but only not for use for public, right?
There's something which is very critical. Honourable member, sorry. He mentioned that how do they overpay? And he's saying overpayment is criminal. So, Chair, I think there is some calculation of air or people paying for air.
No.
Mr. Chairman.
What I'm saying, Honourable Chair, protect me.
Please.
Because he said overpayment is criminal. It's a fact. And he said, how do you overpay when I think in the calculations, that's why I said, you may think the man has been overpaid, but when in his documentation, he has been underpaid, or he has been paid for the work what? Done. So this issue, there is a snag now, Honourable Chair and members. We need to see if they say they overpaid. Why did they overpay? First of all, it's criminal. So, Chair and members, we have to interest ourselves. Thank you.
No, Mr. Chairman, all payments which have been made are interim payments. We shall know whether they are overpaid or underpaid when we prepare the final certificate. The IPC, by the way, can be a management tool to get the project moving. So we shouldn't, as of now, say it was overpaid, because they haven't given a final certificate.
Honorable
Castillo. Let me finish all the questions.
Honorable, if this possibly could help. You see this letter here of 23rd January. This was to Mr. Zia, the contractor's project manager, and from engineer from UEGCTL, from engineer George to Singire Mutegeka. I think that this explains the issues of 92 or 94%. On page 2, say that a review of the status of a contract payment as per IPC, that's interim payment certificate number 19, indicates that a total of 525,167,123.35 US dollars, or 92.5% of the contract price has been certified for payment to EPCC. A further 13,684,152.17 US dollars, i.e. 2.41% of the contract price, being the second half of the rotation money, is available to EPCC to claim as agreed in addendum number 4. Therefore, the agreed payments amounts to 538,951,251.50 US dollars. That is 94.93% of the contract price. I think this 92.94 is for the total contract price, both for the access, public access road, and the bridge. But the bridge takes the biggest component. So when they are talking about this 92, is of the bigger amount, not for the public access road. I think that's where we need to get a correction. Yeah, it's on the total contract. But now if you isolate the other one of the dam and the other one. You see, when you read this document, it will show you how they categorize this, They say EPC to commence component 1 and component 2. They split it. So that's where I'm coming from. The separation which is stated in this component 1, and component 1 is Simba Hydropower, Simba Bujagal Dam, and then component 2 is the public access road. That's how I am dividing. Even if it's one contract, even if it's one project. So it is from this, from divided. So I thought that would clarify. So let us not dwell so much about the 92. Shall in the end, like how engineer is saying, know how this is.
Okay, honorable members, we are going to analyze all the documents in an in-house meeting. Let's allow Mr. Shah to complete. the responses. Mr. Chair, please
Yes.
complete.
For the let me finish all the questions first. I think it's better. For the 92%, I will explain more. Okay, later. For the retention money guarantee, delayed retention money guarantee, because this delay is not our responsibility. According to addendum number 4, we are going to finalize a guarantee with Exim Bank and submit to the employer for the replacement of the money. But addendum number 4 should be approved by Exim Bank to be effective. But this has this procurement this process has been delayed, not because of us. And a new submission for the approval of addendum number 4A has been delivered to Exim Bank 31st December 2019.
Addendum, is there any possibility of not approving addendum?
No. They will approve, but they need a process because this guarantee have to be issued by Exim Bank because this money, this project is financed by Exim Bank. They have to monitor all the financial issue related to the project, including any guarantee.
These addendums are from whom?
This addendum number 4.
Yeah, from
addendum
from whom?
Part of the EPC contract.
Yeah, this is a part of the contract.
So it means the client and the contractor are involved.
Yeah, everybody.
So
So, and the bank cannot give you the guarantee until the effectiveness of the addendum
Still on
number
addendum
4
4.
with the Exim Bank.
Supplementary question on addendum 4.
Yeah.
Honorable Kasson.
But this is a procedure. This is a procedure issue. It's not because of us. Because it's a technical issue.
Supplementary, quickly, Honorable Kasson.
So
Hold
this
on,
issue,
Mr. Chair.
Ministry of
Mr. Chair,
yeah.
there's a supplementary question on addendum.
Okay, please.
Mr. Chair, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I just want you to help this committee. You aware that you are the contractor, you remained the same, but this project changed the owner's engineer.
Yeah.
I want you to help this country and help this committee. What might have caused the change of the first of the owner's engineer in your understanding as a contractor to help this committee?
Okay, it's a new question, not an addendum 4. Please.
Okay. Let me continue my answer. So for the delay of the retention guarantee, it's because of the bank. The bank need approval. Something. It's not a technical issue. Number 10, the drawn down date of the loans in June. What it means? Because this loan, there's a certain grace period of the loan to Uganda government. Within this period, you can certify the work, and the money will be released by the bank. But there's a closing date. If on the expiry of the closing date, you haven't finished all the certification of the payment, the responsibility of raise or pay the contractor for the complete work will be transferred from Exim Bank to Government of Uganda. That means before 19th of June, if you fail to furnish to certify all payment, the $567 million, if there's $20 million or $15 million outstanding, okay. After that, Government of Uganda is going to pay.
No, Mr. Contractor,
Yes.
we are working together. You should be advising the client to be working vigorously to have this loan extended. Other than Exim Bank getting out and then we start getting more problems at home. You should be working on extension of the loan.
No,
It's a problem. Honorable Chair. From Mr. C and the Engineer Vyandala, I think Honorable Golobi should interest yourselves more in this. He said, after this June coming, if we have not paid or what, Exim Bank will do what? Will pull out. And when they pull out honour members, what will happen? The bridge will not be what? So, honour member, let us interest ourselves. I think Minister of Finance, because we don't know how much money is remaining, they may be remaining with only $3 million when they have swindled everything. They want the time to go and they say, things have failed. I think, Chair, we need to bring them back, honour members.
Chairman, if I heard you, you said you are inviting Minister of Finance.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we should put this matter to their attention because he has already said he's delivering the project by December.
Yeah.
And the loan is expiring in June. Yeah, so I think we need to, like India Yanda is proposing, to seek for a loan extension up to December. That is going to be very critical.
Sure.
No, and you can see we don't know how to manage this project. If they have already agreed that this project will end in December, and they know that the loan is expiring in June, by now they would be working on the extension of the loan.
Yeah, the mafias want the debt to come. Kwisha.
Yes, some information from Pentagon.
Thank you, Honour Chair.
Okay.
Honour Chair and members, it is true that the rain period expires actually on 19th of June this year. And it is also true that the Minister of Finance has written to Exim Bank to extend that period, but they were not allowed. They said they couldn't offer. Maybe other negotiations could be going on, but Minister of Finance has already done so.
Minister has written?
Yes, it has already written for extension. And it was... Let me first submit, because what I'm talking is factual. Now, this extension, honourable members, the information I'm giving is that the extension is not affecting the continuity of the works. It is only affecting the repayment period of the loan. Because this business, once we extend, that means, yes. So I think that's on that basis. Definitely.
Minister of Finance will be here tomorrow. Let's allow Mr. Shah.
Yeah, let me continue. Yes, it is true that the drawn down date does not affect the progress of work. Only affect who is going to pay. Only. Yeah. Okay, next question. Yeah. The next question about if I get paid, what the commitment? Yes, I have said I will commit to finish. Because if you don't pay, yeah, you breach contract. But I'm willing to finish the work on time if I can. Okay. Number 12. The withheld money is because of whether we have a problem? No, we don't think so because they don't agree. Does Ministry of Energy has approved the certification? No, because it has been rejected by the OE, so there's no way to let the ministry to give approval. Because the OE should be the representative of the employer to give some professional advice.
No, but Mr. Contractor.
Yes.
There must be items within the IPC which the engineer was not satisfied with. Why don't you remove those in the meantime and submit those he accepts and you get that payment?
Excuse me?
For the project, for the certificate to be rejected, there are items the engineer is not satisfied with. Why don't you pull them out and resubmit a new IPC without which are already accepted of the engineer so that you get that payment?
Okay, this is a good question. Let me answer. What we submit in our IPC are all for the items of the work which has been satisfied with the OE. They have already approved.
Satisfied with the works?
Yeah.
And then you refuse to give the certificate.
That's right.
Honour Chair, maybe for interest of members.
Listen, let me finish. When we submit the IPC, we have like this thickness of supporting document. which is the approved paper or OK card or whatever for the items within the payment schedule. It has been signed by the OE.
No,
We
but-
submitted, they refused it.
Bwana contractor,
Yes.
when you're on the site, there are instruction books where the engineer instructs you to do this. Then there are requests from you to ask, seeking for approval, and the engineer approves. Does it mean that you did works without the instruction of the engineer?
Is it related to the payment?
When you are doing works, when you're on ground,
Yeah.
the engineer gives you instructions,
Yes.
do this and this.
Yes.
Then when you have done, you do measurements.
Yes.
Then he approves those works.
Yes.
Now rejecting things which he has approved, does it mean there is a paper missing? Maybe you did works without instructions from the engineer.
No. All work we have completed is according to approved drawing and instruction of engineer. We have all submitted documents.
Chair, just one intervention here. Chair here, one intervention here. I think, honour members, in the, honour members.
Can we have one meeting?
Please, Honourable Kasulu. One thing we are actually looking at is here. In regard, your application for interim payment certificate number 19 was rejected due to critical outstanding TOCI snags. I think that's where
Maybe for the benefit of members, let Honorable Alswaka lead the list
Read the
of snag
snags.
I gave him, so that we understand this better.
Honour Chair, these are the snags which is living why they are not paying millions of dollars. Though we are not engineers, you will see whether the snag can cost how much. The first snag, Honour Chair, is that repairs were carried out and parts replaced. Then updating of as-built drawings and OM manuals and commissioning and outstanding. Just updating the as-built what? Drawings and a manual and commissioning that is one snag. I don't know how much that one costs.
Just read the snags.
Because engineer being an engineer is he wants to give the highlight of members. Then 2, potable water treatment plant. Repairs were carried out and parts replaced. Updating of as-built drawings and manuals and commissioning outstanding. Floating boom installation. EPC's basic drawings were approved by owner's engineer and detailed designs are awaited from EPC. Installation, testing, training of employers' personnel, commissioning, and handover of documentation are all outstanding. 3, commissioning of the spillway gates upper. Only installation tests were carried out. Commissioning is required to perform the tests under operating conditions when units are running. This is outstanding. Oil water separator. The equipment malfunctioned immediately during the TOC1 process. TPC's repairs were carried out in July and parts were replaced. Updating of as-built drawings and manuals and commissioning outstanding.
Is that all?
They are still there, but everything is just updating.
Okay.
Landscaping.
I think that gives an idea. You can stop there.
Yeah,
but,
just things.
But
manual.
For the benefit of members, even those snags where the engineers attached a post to and sent to the contractor.
I don't see that.
Yes, when you read the proposed progress payment milestones in that letter from
Where is that?
UAGCL, you will see that upon completion of the TOC1 snags by June 30th, 2020, $6.3 million.
That is how much in Uganda.
you can calculate in the meantime as,
You
as,
see, you see, Mr. Chairman,
so all the information was given to the contractor?
you see, Mr. Chairman, I think the contractor made one mistake. Snag lists are given when you are moving towards handover. The contractor, he was telling me the thing is now producing power. He handed over to the client, and the client is comfortable. You should not have allowed the handover before these snags are cleared. Because now for him, the client is happy. He's not losing anything.
Mr. Contractor,
Snag
please.
lists are done to prepare you for handover.
Honorable Chair, to add on what Engineer Bandala is saying, honorable members, me, I wouldn't be very comfortable with the contractor refusing to hand over because as a government of VNR, we had committed delivering this dam at a particular time. But, honorable members, not to pay 20 billion because of commissioning.
Honorable,
Yes,
please
because
don't
of
draw,
commissioning.
please don't draw conclusions. We shall discuss that.
Okay, internal.
Yes. Honorable members, conclusions, recommendations later in our meeting. Mr. Shah, please wind up.
Yeah.
We have run out of time.
Gentlemen, please let me explain. Honorable Sir, I think the representative of the Ministry of Energy has expressed why the power plant has been commissioned last March by His Excellency, the President of Uganda. Because we always balance the time, the quality, and the cost. Okay, you may refuse to hand over or to take over the project because of some small painting. You can do that. But is it benefiting you? No. You are losing millions of dollars from the generation of the revenue. That is why, according to the contract, it is okay for the OE to give approval to take over the project if the project is substantially functioning and can perform well. If there's any outstanding minor work or defect, it is okay to leave to the contractor to finish all them within the defects liability period. And this is benefiting both the employer mostly. Secondly, it does not delay the handover.
Chairman, can I propose that we keep this matter pending, subject to getting the owner's engineer on table alongside the contractor, so that we look for an amicable solution to it?
I think so. I think so. We shall need the two of you, the owner's engineer and you yourself, then we see exactly how to go
I still
about
have more than 10 questions. Maybe let me finish. Yeah. How about the effect of the coronavirus to the project? It is affecting since the last of January. Not lately, it's lately affection, not a long time before. It just affect the procurement of equipment in China because all the factory now is off, is closed. And also affect the return of the project personnel because now they are restricted, not coming back.
Coronavirus didn't start now. China was not just giving it out information. It started RNSM.
Okay, next question.
Honorable members, can we allow please let's allow him now uninterrupted.
Yeah. I was required to confirm the 3.5 kilometer, including the 2.1 kilometer, is within the scope of works. Yes, it is. Yeah, 1.5. Yes, it is. Both the 3.5 and 1.5 are inclusive, and we are doing that. And there's a question about why the bridge of from Tanzania is cheaper or whatever. I cannot judge it.
No, I'm not asking you a question for that. That one was
Okay, fine. Number 14. Is the snag which is still outstanding protected or covered by the retention money? Yes, it is. This is why I just explained why if the project is substantially functioning, it could be taken over with some outstanding minor snags, which the contract is to finish it within the defect liability period. How to guarantee the contractor do so? You have the performance guarantee, you have retention money, which
But-
is much more than the snags.
But you see your choice of words and theirs. You call them minor, they call them critical.
Okay.
But now you need to
So
strike a
Honorable
balance.
MP have just have a letter from them, their O&M menu updating. There's some commissioning of some system. There's some repair of trash rock cleaner. There's some installation of the floating boom. Yes, there are some, but if it critically affects the performance of project, you will see from the news. ISIMA is off, ISIMA is down, ISIMA is shut down, whatever, because of floating boom, because OM, but it's not. 2 years. Yeah, it's very long. So, this is the issue. This is the dispute. This is the main dispute. Whether the OE can withhold money according to this next. I mean, okay, you can withhold. You can estimate a value of this tax. If it worth 1 million, you withhold 1 million. If it worth 2, you withhold 2. I agree. And also, it's in the contract. But you cannot withhold this phone with $1 million. It's unfair, right? Okay, number 15. Is it overpaid? No, I already say. Overpay should not be happened. All the payment certification is made according to the payment schedule and the work completed on site, where it has been verified, certified, double-checked by the OE, by the contractor, everybody. I have a copy of the IPC 17. This is the last, not the last one. This is the last payment which has been given some money to us in March 2019. So they have some explanation. You can see in their letter. They certify item by
Let
item.
the record capture IPC 17.
So normally they certify item by item. For example, item A, if a turbine generation installation, is it finished? Yes, it is finished. Give money. There's something, if it finished, they check the paper. If it finished, give money. If not, they withhold. This is the procedure. This is very normal. This has been made up to IPC 17, but starting from number 18, IPC number 18, the OE is not doing the same thing as what he did before. He just said, okay, snag. He ignored what is in the contract. He says, snag, this pen is not very beautiful. I don't give you the money of this mobile phone. I already gave you, but I withhold the money for the mobile phone because the painting of the pen is not looks very nice. I will do it. I will make a new pen for you, but please give me money for this. You have a guarantee, more than 100 pens, protecting you. Why you withhold money? Okay, this is the main dispute. So next question, about the payment for 92%, which is stated by OE. I already said yes, 92% is the figure up to now has been given to us. But all this money has been given us is according to the payment schedule. We have faith. If he give any money illegally, which is for any work, it's not completed in the contract, he's not good. But if he give according to contract, written in the paper, no problem, no doubt. He can pay 100 if it's in contract. He can pay 1% if it is in contract, because we agreed, we signed, right? It's a deal, right? You just follow contract, no risk. Next one. There's a request to evaluate the value of the equipment material side, and yes, we haven't do so, but we can commit because it is the responsibility of the contractor that he cannot demobilize any big major equipment or materials before the completion of work. The OE, the employer will refuse to us to remove from the site. They said the power has been given to them, so no equipment will be removed before completion of the bridge. This is very clear. So no matter it's $5 million or $10 million, it's a lot of money, but I cannot use that. It has to be work on the bridge of the Isimba. And somebody suspect that the money is withheld because we don't pay some money. No, I don't think so.
Kickback.
It's a suspicion, and I don't believe so. And it's illegal. We never do something illegal. If it's illegal, we'll be caught in jail. Yes, it's illegal. We never do the illegal issue. And I think only dispute the withhold money is about snacks. Is it snack a condition they can withhold money or not? Yeah. Next, number 18. Because the money is not paid because of quality of works? No. The power plant has been commissioned successfully by the president, and now it's operating normally. It's generating power for all the nation of Uganda. Have you heard any problem there? Okay. So even also you have visit site, you have seen the progress of the bridge. Have you heard any quality issue for the bridge? No? Okay. So only some snacks, right? So number 19. What I have been paid for this 92%? Yes, I've already show you the ITC 17. You can go through that. Yeah. Number 20, restructuring proposal for the payment schedule, which has been proposed by UEGCL. Also, this letter we received in late of January. It's a proposal by UEGCL that they want to restructure the payment schedule. That means before their letter, the payment schedule should be as per the original contract. But it wasn't being followed up.
But did you finally accept this one?
In the meeting following the letter, we have been invited to discuss about the possibility and the structure, how we do that. And also I have replied the letter. I didn't bring a copy upon their invitation.
You'll send us.
I can send later. Yeah. What we yeah, I was in the meeting. I say yes. We appreciate and we respect the request from the UEGCL that they would like to restructure the payment schedule. But I have in our letter also state that the restructured schedule means you have to sign another addendum. This addendum have to be clear by the SG or AG. Also have to submit to Minister of Finance. Finance have to submit Exim Bank. Exim have to approve before you do any action. And now the coronavirus is in China. Bank is closed now. I have written in letter, this whole procedure will not less than 3 months. Will not less than 3 months. Negotiation, signing, submission, approval, come back, whatever. It will not help us. Right?
Yeah.
That's not. And if you want to restructure, you should have done it in addendum number 4. Why you don't?
Did you answer them in writing?
Yeah, we answered that.
Yeah, you'll get us that copy.
Yeah.
Because
So
now this
since you haven't changed, modified payment schedule, that means you are already aware that the bridge work will up to the end of 2020. And actually, the question for the drawn down date. The drawn down date in June, it's a clause between the financial agreement between Finance and Exim Bank. We don't have the copy. We didn't know that. We were told about that only in December by ministry. We didn't know that there's a drawn down date. So we didn't know that, but we are just go ahead with the works.
They didn't know
We didn't know.
the loan
The loan date is within the financial agreement between finance and Exim Bank. We don't have copy. We are not authorized to have any information of that one. So this is a concern between finance and Exim Bank. Even the OE, the ministry, the contractor, we were not aware of this.
I hope the clerk is speaking with that argument about what needs to be done.
Yeah.
As a way forward.
Yeah, and the people, and it must ask the people whether they know the implication. The people who-
So in the meeting of the proposal,
Because its submission is that they cannot
accept a restructure unless ABC done. You must follow what is supposed to be done. Yeah. So did our people know? That's procedure. Yeah. Because now which side will the fault go? Because if these things, if someone knew what to be done, we wouldn't have been caught by the coronavirus. Now we don't know when it will end. It's just like 3 months, it may even be more than that. So that affects the whole process. So you delay something, you don't know what happens in the future. Now we have been caught up with that.
So maybe I need to understand this very clearly. You think if this side clears, Exim Bank to pay you, if they clear all your IPCs, even with the coronavirus, Exim Bank can still make the payment here, or still there
no,
will be
in China.
I mean, yes, they can transfer to your account and you get the money here, or still you'll be. Yeah, that's why I'm asking that even if we cleared now, with the coronavirus, we may not be able to get the money because the banks are not working.
Okay, let me clarify. I mean, the bank is not working means currently they have extended their holiday, but they will come back to work, I think within 1 or 2 weeks. But I think the efficiency of work will be very low because now it's not very recommended to have all people stay in the office.
by 2 weeks the virus will be over.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, they have to come back.
They
Not
have
only Isimba, they have hundreds of projects.
projects.
Their life is important also. Their life.
But I think their efficiency of work will be very low.
Okay, finally, Mr. Shah, we must close this meeting. What is your last word?
Let me finish. Only 3. In the meeting, we generally agree to negotiate about restructuring, but we still request they can follow up the original. That is, that is something. Next one. Why we haven't finished?
Mr. Chairman, on this restructuring request from you, ED Chair, what is the essence of the restructuring? When the dam has been completed and commissioned, what is remaining is the bridge, which you have committed complete by the end of the year. So what is the essence of this restructuring they are requesting for?
You should ask them to answer.
They just, their contractor is also asking.
But
Because
in
I
their
think-
writing, what were they indicating?
No reason,
No
but no reason, but I think they just want to buy more time to get more money to pay. But we shall ask them tomorrow.
And the last 3 is the land acquisition. No, the land acquisition is the responsibility of the ministry. We are not obliged to do that. The environmental report is being under process by ministry, and it's not our job. Number 24. What's your understanding about the first owners engineers change? I think the previous owner engineer is the EIPL company, who is from India. This company has been terminated in 2017, and their new OE come. Of course, the previous OE should be more familiar with what happened from the beginning of the project. They are the entity who has approved most of the drawings, designs. They know everything. But if you kick them out, bring some new one has no idea. It will take longer time for them to catch up what happened and what has happened. Yeah. But it's for us, we are dealing with the different people, and we have to talk about history again. And they may kind of lagging, during this transaction period. But only during the transaction period, could be some delay, lagging. But after that, it will be normal. This is what I understand. Yeah. So I think that's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shah, for ably representing your company.
Yes.
We have heard, at least you have made good clarification.
Yeah. Thank you.
But of course, when we need more information,
Okay.
be ready. We shall contact you.
Okay.
We need
Yeah,
the
I will
letter,
share. I'll share.
the response.